You know, I've been thinking about something lately, and it's been staying with me for quite some time. It's one of those ideas that doesn't just hit you all at once, but just kind of taps you on the shoulder until you finally stop and listen. Ernest Holmes once wrote that you, like everyone else, are seeking the joy of living. He said that you want to be needed, to be loved, and to be included in the great drama of life. And when I read that, I felt this deep sense of recognition, because that's not some big spiritual concept that's floating around in the clouds. That's real life. That's what people feel when they wake up in the morning and wonder if what they're doing really matters. You know, most of us don't want a perfect life. We just want a meaningful one. Like we belong here, like our presence makes a difference, like we weren't just dropped onto this planet to fill time until the end. And I don't think that desire is something that we pick up from society, or we learned it from our parents, or observed it from social media. I think it's much deeper than that. You know, in my work as a spiritual life coach, I talk about something I call God the Infinite Filmmaker, creating the movie of your life. It's my way of describing the creative intelligence that's behind life itself. The force that's directing this universal movie that we have a part in as characters in this great drama of life. And here's something I really believe. The infinite filmmaker did not create you as a character by accident. You weren't made to stand in the background of your own life, quietly just watching other people take center stage. That feeling you have that there must be more to life than just getting by, paying bills, and trying to stay out of trouble. You know, that feeling didn't come from your ego. It came from life itself. It's like the director whispering from behind the camera saying, "There's more that I want to express through you." Holmes talks about the urge to express is in everything, not just people. He uses the example of a rose. A rose exists to express beauty. That's it. It doesn't struggle to be a rose. It doesn't wonder if it's good enough. It doesn't compare itself to other roses and decide, well, should I bloom? It just does what it was made to do. Root and branch and sunlight and soil all together make that flower appear. When you think about it, that's how life works everywhere except in us. Somewhere along the way, we learn to doubt our own nature. We learn to hold back and play small, to wait until we felt more ready, more confident, and more approved of. But nature never waits to express itself. Life moves forward just naturally. And when we resist that movement, we feel it as frustration or sadness or even restlessness. A lot of people think they're unhappy because something is wrong with them. More often than not, they're unhappy because something inside of them wants to express itself and hasn't found a way out yet. That's especially true for creative people. But honestly, it applies to everyone. When we don't express who we really are, that energy doesn't disappear, it just turns inward and starts to cause trouble. Holmes also talks about the artist who is willing to struggle just to bring something beautiful into form. And that makes sense because creation isn't optional. If you've ever felt the urge to write, paint, build, speak, teach, or create something meaningful, you know that it's not about convenience, it's about necessity. You have to do it. There's something inside you that wants to move, and it doesn't care if the timing is perfect. Here's something that I find really powerful. You are not just an actor in this story, you're also the screenwriter. You're shaping your life every day with your thoughts, with your beliefs, and the choices that you make. The infinite filmmaker provides the raw footage, but you help decide what kind of story gets told. Every time you choose honesty over fear, expression over hiding, you're shaping the next scene in your life's movie. Fear likes to step in and say things like, "Who do you think you are? What if this doesn't work? Or what will people think?" But I've come to see fear differently. Fear doesn't show up because something is wrong. Fear shows up because something is changing. It's the old version of you realizing it might not survive the next edit. Fear isn't a stop sign, it's more like a doorway, and almost every meaningful change in life requires walking through that doorway before you feel ready. So how do we live this in a simple way without turning it into another self-improvement project? For me, it comes down to one honest question. Instead of asking, what should I do with my life? I try asking, what wants to express through me? Not what will impress people or look good on paper, but what feels real and alive right now. Then I try to take one small step in that direction. Not a huge leap, just something real. Expression doesn't require perfection. It requires permission. And permission is something only you can give yourself. Now I want to leave you with this thought. The desire you feel to live fully, to love deeply, and to express who you really are is not random. It's not a mistake. It's not asking too much. It's the infinite filmmaker reminding you that this movie isn't finished yet. You weren't created just to survive life. You were created to participate in it, to show up, to contribute, and to let something meaningful move through you. A life that isn't lived is the only real tragedy. Everything else is just another chance to rewrite the script. And the camera keeps rolling on your movie called life.